Are you thinking about self-publishing audiobooks? Then you may want to look into a platform known as Findaway Voices. I've talked a little bit about the audiobook distribution platform, but I have yet to actually do a deep dive and a full review of Findaway Voices. So today we are going to be doing a 100% honest Findaway Voices review, so make sure you stay tuned. This is Self-Publishing with Dale, where you'll learn to publish books that sell and build an unstoppable author brand. And if you want to learn more about writing, self-publishing, and building an author platform, make sure that you subscribe and turn the bell notifications on so you don't miss a single video. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Thinkific. If you want to turn your book into an online course, then you should do it through Thinkific. Start with 30 days free of their Pro plan when you visit dalelinks.com/Thinkific. Again, that's dalelinks.com/Thinkific. Now you're going to want to make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to give you my unfiltered thoughts when it comes to Findaway Voices and distributing your audiobooks through this platform. Just what is Findaway Voices anyways? It is an audiobook distribution platform that's been around for about 2 years, but the company of Findaway has been around for about 12 years, and they handle everything to do with audiobooks. The Findaway Voices platform reaches over 36 different retail and library options. These avenues mean that you can reach out to far more people than some other places that you only get 3. They have 2 types of distribution. There is standard distribution. This means that you can reach out to all 36 of these avenues, and it's really just simple because you just go in, upload your audiobook, and it's already selected for you. In the event that you don't want it to go to a specific avenue, all you have to do is go through and deselect them. Their other form of distribution is the Voices Plus program, and this is a 1-year exclusivity agreement with Findaway Voices. Now, there's some fine print involved when it comes to actually getting this exclusivity agreement with Findaway Voices. For instance, when you sign up, you can't opt out of it for at least 6 months. There's a few other things, but for the most part, though, the perks that they put into this might make it worthwhile for you to think about because they actually have piracy protection, extra giveaway codes. And now, mind you, you get 30 giveaway codes anytime you upload a book over to Findaway Voices, where you actually get 100 giveaway codes when you're part of their Voices Plus program. You get priority access to authors' direct beta, and you're first in line for marketing and promotional campaigns. What about the royalty structure? Well, Findaway Voices is an aggregate publisher. This means that you can upload your book to them and they will send it out to numerous markets on your behalf. And much like other aggregate publishers, for instance, like Draft2Digital or Smashwords, Findaway Voices is like the audiobook version of them, and well, they collect a small percentage of your sales, being that they actually do just 20%. It never goes higher, it never goes lower, it's just 20% of all net profit that comes into your account. So this means that you're profiting about 80% of net profit. Now, stay with me for just a second because it does get a little bit intricate. There are 2 different types of models with a few different iterations under each one of them. And just to kind of keep things simple, you should just know that there's the retail model, which is it has a la carte, subscription services, and revenue share. And then the second version is library distribution, which is pretty freaking awesome in my opinion. And they actually have 2 different forms in a la carte purchases as well as cost per checkout. They have this cost per checkout type model, and this is really neat. It almost functions like Kindle Unlimited used to back prior to July 2015, and that if somebody just checks it out and all they have to do is just check it out and you're paid for it, and that's kind of nice. Unlike if you were just to put it through library, they actually have to purchase it. Now, when a library purchases your audiobook, you can charge up to 2 to 3 times the normal retail. Well, why is that? Because there's going to be a lot of people consuming your content, so you want to make sure that you're getting paid for it. And speaking of, I actually kind of glossed right past this whole point. It's pricing. You can actually set the price for your audiobooks. Unlike some other areas, You can do it here. You can set it up however you want to. So just take a look at your competition and figure out what makes the most sense as far as pricing. And again, if you're going to do library, you'll want to make sure that you're charging 2 to 3 times the actual cost. And this is something that Findaway Voices recommends. So if you decide, I'm going to go ahead and make it cheap so I can make it available through libraries, then that's all you. The Narrator Marketplace is the next one I want to address, and this differs considerably to, say, something like Audiobook Creation Exchange. Under normal circumstances, you would just go onto ACX and you put in a filter for your budget and the type of reader that you're going to get, the voiceover talent, the accents that they have. But with Findaway Voices, it's a bit different. In fact, I'll actually be doing a video interview here really soon with the coordinator that actually puts rights holders in touch with the actual narrators. It's kind of like a matchmaking process. There are 2 ways that you can set up narration for your book. Now, of course, you can come with your own content. So let's say, for instance, you got a non-exclusive deal through ACX. That means you can distribute over to Findaway Voices, and you just grab those files, go right over to Findaway Voices. I'll be doing a video about that here really soon, showing you how to do that. Now, the 2 main ways is per finished hour. Now, with Findaway Voices, they're going to be starting at a bit more of a premium. So if you're expecting to go to Findaway Voices and finding a narrator, say, for under $100, it's not going to be very likely. In fact, they have a lot of people that are involved in the SAG-AFTRA union. So this means that you have to probably pay anywhere from about $150 or more to the voiceover talent. So this is not going to be cheap if you're thinking about coming into this and thinking, I'm going to be able to get away with, doing $50 per finished hour. That might not happen. But if you are on a fixed budget, but you want to get some good quality narrators, then this is definitely the option you'll want to look into, and that's the Voices Share program. I talked a little bit about this in previous broadcasts. Now, how the Voices Share program works like this. It is a royalty split program, but unlike, say, ACX that does a 50-50 royalty split, this one works a bit different. You actually only pay 50% of your costs up front in exchange for about 20% of your royalties. So instead of, say, getting 80% of your net profits, you would get 60%. That 20% would go to your narrator, and of course, remember, Findaway Voices will get that additional 20%. Now, this is a 10-year program. Take a deep breath. You're going to go, oh my gosh, 10 years. Well, here's the beauty of it. They actually have a nice little feature that is an opt-out of sorts. So in the event that this book starts to take off, or you want to just take all the rights for yourself, then all you have to do is pay the 100%. So this means you paid 50% up front, and then you do the full 100%. So it comes out to be about 150%. This is going to be a way, the Voices Share program is going to be a way that you can actually get your stuff onto the market without having to risk as much. And here's the thing is, even narrators that are part of this program don't have to risk as much as, say, what they do over on ACX, where they have the 50-50 split. They at least get that money up front that'll pay for some of their overhead. I really kind of like this Voices Share program. It's very interesting and it's very innovative. So if you find that you are a bit cash strapped, you may want to look into the Voices Share program. And worst case scenario, you've got this deal for the next 10 years, and as soon as those 10 years are up, well, the rights default back over to you. What about the pros and cons of Findaway Voices? The pros include wide reach. They have the widest reach when it comes to audiobook publishing today. There's 36 different avenues, and you don't have to utilize all of them if you don't want to. When you go to set up your account, they're actually going to have a terms of service agreement that you can scroll through, and they will show you a breakdown of each one of those avenues and how much of a percentage or what kind of a payout you can come to expect of it. So in the event that you find one specific avenue that you're like, I don't like that payout model, say for instance, you don't like cost per checkout, you could get rid of that. Let's say you don't want to go into libraries altogether. You can remove that option. Let's just say that you published your book in a non-exclusive agreement through ACX, where you can deselect Amazon and Audible going through Findaway Voices. Oh, by the way, did I fail to mention that? They actually reach over on Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Supports all regions. Okay, so we know that ACX will only accommodate account holders who are in the US, UK, Canada, and Ireland. Now, sure, they're going to probably start to expand, but in the meantime, Findaway Voices over here is honoring all regions. So regardless of where you're at in the world, they'll take care of you. So if you want to publish audiobooks, then by gosh, go over, look at Findaway Voices. Killer royalty structure. I know I had to say killer because 80% is phenomenal. And I am going to go ahead and I'm going to compare apples to apples because Findaway Voices has an 80% model, whereas if you go just exclusive on ACX, it's only 40%. And if you go non-exclusive, that's 25%. And it should be noted that if you just upload directly through Findaway Voices, you're going to get that 25% model, sans the 20% that Findaway does for distribution. But in the event that you want to, say, for instance, still get all of your royalties on ACX and utilize Findaway Voices, then just go non-exclusive on ACX and then utilize all the other avenues. Big bonus here. When you use Findaway Voices, select their distribution to Apple. Fun little fact, they actually have a better deal with Apple than what ACX does. ACX only gets 25% from Apple. Now, if you're on the exclusive plan for ACX, you get 40% of that 25%. Now, if you're non-exclusive, you get 25% of that 25%. And now we're starting to stack some pennies, but you're in Findaway Voices. They have a very unique partnership with Apple in that Apple is doing 45% for Findaway Voices, and you ready for this? You're getting 80% of that 45%. Now, this is a lot of numbers to kind of take into account. All that to say this, you're getting more of a payout through Apple by way of Findaway Voices versus ACX. Something to think about. And the mere fact that they have library distribution is huge. I've only put out a couple of publications, and I've definitely seen some marginal results with really no promotion at all. And it's all coming through libraries. So this kind of goes to show that having library distribution is a no-brainer for all of you indie authors out there. What about the cons of Findaway Voices? Look, folks, it's not all rainbow and sunshines here, and I think that everybody should always try to improve their product and their services. And I do know the Findaway Voices team is currently working on some of these issues, but I'm going to address them anyways. No negotiating. One of the nice features that I enjoy about Audiobook Creation Exchange is the fact that you can actually negotiate with narrators. So in the event, let's say that their finished price per hour is, say, $200 per finished hour on ACX, I can contact them and we can negotiate to get something that works out for us. Over on Findaway Voices, those prices are static. So if somebody says they're $250 per finished hour, they're set at that. There's no moving them. It's the same for everybody across the board. Now, that's a big bonus, I suppose, for the narrators, but for us indie authors who are trying to watch our money and really get it to where we can produce a good, high-quality book without breaking the bank, having this no negotiations on Findaway Voices is a little bit discouraging. But is it a complete turnoff? No, not really. They're still vetting some really good narrators, and they're certainly worth it. I just wish that there was some type of way that we could negotiate. Clickable links. Now, kind of like when you go into your KDP account, when you want to look at some book that it's over in, say, UK, or over in Canada, or over in Italy, we can just grab that hyperlink and go to the store where it's located. Unfortunately, for Findaway Voices, there is no links to actually go to the audiobook page where your book is listed. You essentially just have to go to each one of those regions, search up your audiobook, and then hope you find it. And that brings me over to number 3 as far as the cons go, is you're never given any notifications for when your book actually is live in each of the 36 different avenues. It's great to actually have that wide reach, but I would love to know when it's going to be available. That way I can notify any of my readers, aka listeners, when a book is live in their preferred outlet. I know for me, I'm a big library fan. It would be really awesome if I knew when it was available through something like, say, Hoopla or Biblioteca or Overdrive. That way I can contact friends, family, and even some of my followers and let them know that, hey, if you're cash strapped, you can always go check it out over at your local library and it will still support me. Overall, though, Findaway Voices audiobook publishing platform is absolutely stellar. I give them 2 thumbs up and a giant banana sticker because this team is phenomenal. They've only been in business for 2 years in this particular division, and they are just making waves in this industry. It is just stellar. In fact, this is only one of a series of 10 videos that are going to be covering Findaway Voices. In fact, I actually got the honor of getting to interview the full Findaway Voices team. So over the coming days and weeks, we're actually going to be firing off some of these videos. You can take a look at them down here once they are live. Definitely would love to hear from you. And when you get the opportunity, you want to set up your account, go over to findawayvoices.com/Dale and get your account set up. It is not an affiliate account. It's merely a referral link, and I don't get any financial benefit. It only will help you out. Hey, I'll see you in the next video.